What's going down, Greenskin Entertainment fans? Your homie Jay Green back right now with my thoughts and feelings on Bone Lake. Now, this film came out earlier, I think around early October, and I didn't get to see it in the theaters. I wanted to because I had heard that it was going to be pretty good, a little salacious and things of this nature, and it sounded kind of interesting, right? Now, the reason I'm bringing it to you now is because I've been sitting on my ass the past couple of days because I had two blessings show up in my lap. Not like I didn't know they were coming. Of course I knew they were coming, but I ain't got nothing else to do, so I'm watching movies on streaming like all damn day. Okay, that and trying to stay awake. Regardless, I watched this movie finally, and let me tell you,
it stinks.
First off the top, this movie was directed by Mercedes Bryce Morgan, and it was written by Joshua Friedlander. Now, I thought the direction of the film was fine. Shot composition, the look of the film, beautiful, phenomenal, stunning. Probably would have been gorgeous on the big screen, and it was beautiful on my 75-inch Sony. I thought the acting in this movie was fine, nothing special to write home about, but what really pulled me out of the film was the first two acts. Act one, kind of a little boring, a little bit of a drag, takes forever to get going before we really understand what's jumping off, and then act two is a bunch of situations that don't really make any sense. One, that someone would allow themselves to continue to stay in this situation. Two, that someone in their position and in their relationship as it is would believe strangers talking about their situation. And then three, that once the shit really starts to hit the fan, if in your relationship you are honest, faithful, true, and all of that, then why wouldn't you tell your partner what the F is going on and have a line of communication that y'all would be able to get out of this situation? Let me back up and tell you what I'm talking about, because I know you're like, what the hell? So basically what this film is all about, for those of y'all out there who don't know what Bone Lake is you got a couple. One guy, he's a writer. I think he was like an English teacher. He basically quits his job to write this book. His girlfriend at the time, she's gonna be the main supporter of the relationship from a financial standpoint. And clearly this has put a strain on their relationship. They've clearly not fully thought it out, talked about it, and gone over all the ins and outs of what this is going to be like moving forward. So they're going on this trip with a little bit of a strain on their relationship. Now, this beautiful Airbnb, lakeside, all of that. Apparently, there's another couple who also booked this Airbnb the same weekend, if you can believe that. And this couple, probably sitting around the same age, good looking couple, right? Maybe a little bit better looking than them, as it were. And this couple is slowly trying to pick their relationship apart. This couple is slowly trying to seduce each of them and see what they can get to happen. And what took me out of the film before I understood and saw what the twist was, right, before the movie shows us what the twist is, right? What took me out of it was, why would anybody in a loving and committed relationship allow this to happen? There's a really big thing that jumps off in the movie where I'm like angry that this dude is not saying anything to this guy when he's pulling this nonsense. I was like, that would never, I don't know anybody who would allow that ish to jump off. So I'm like, that's just silly. So I feel like a lot of the writing and a lot of the things in this film were just there to move whatever their narrative was along. And to me, that's terrible writing. That's poor story craftsmanship, if you will. Right? If you're trying to make a movie that is a look in on relationships, trust, being comfortable or uncomfortable around others, how far will you go or not go to not say something you shouldn't say, or whatever it is. If the movie's trying to say that type of stuff, it didn't say any of that shit. No, it just put people in awkward positions where they weren't sure what to say, trying to make it sound deeper than what it really was. Right? Now, cut to the end of the film, I thought was terrific. There's finally a conflict. I'm being vague just in case you want to see it at this point, but I will give you some spoilers later and I'll let you know when they're coming. But in the end of the film, we finally come to some conflict. This couple says to this couple, yo, we know what's going down. We know what the deal is. and we don't like it, right? And now they're beefing with each other, and there's a chase, and there's all of this stuff. And this movie gets graphic, very bloody. And when it happens, it's a small moment, but I loved it. I thought it was great. So again, from the look and the direction of the film, dope. Acting was fine. The blood and the gruesomeness at the end of the movie kind of reeled it in, and like, man, I wish we had more of this whole vibe and texture throughout the entire film. You dig? Now, I'm gonna give y'all some spoilers because I have to say what it is that really set me off in this movie, okay? So here's your spoiler warning right here, right? Movie was okay. Now we're going into spoilers. You're gonna find out why I said it was not good. All right, so this dude who is quit his job, he's trying to be a writer and all that jazz. He's gonna propose to his girlfriend on this trip. Now, we don't know that straight off the top, but at some point in time, he goes into his car, he's looking at the ring, he's pondering. We've seen that scene before in many movies before this. The one other dude in the other relationship comes to him and says, oh snap, like that's a nice ring, what you got going on? This guy tells him what he's gonna do, basically how he's gonna do it, where he got the ring from, all of that. Then, like the next morning or so, they're sitting at the breakfast table, like hanging out, mingling with this other random couple, and this dude pulls out the ring, proceeds to propose to his girlfriend with this dude's grandmother's freaking wedding ring. And this guy is just sitting there and says nothing. He just looks pissed off, right? Like he's sitting on a good poker hand or some shit like that, right? And I'm like, who the fuck wouldn't say anything? This makes no sense. Then when he goes outside and tells this guy, yo, what the hell are you doing? This guy makes up some blah, 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 whatever. And this dude still doesn't say anything. Then at some point in time, they split up, like the couple that we're following, we'll call them the good couple. He's chilling at the house, he's trying to do some writing or whatever like this, and his lady is about to go to the store or whatever with this dude. I'm like, all right, I wouldn't let that shit jump off, but okay. And on the car ride, this guy is saying all this personal stuff and then saying that the boyfriend told him about it. So he's saying all these personal things to this guy's lady. And instead of just slapping this dude and being like, hey, take me to F back, we're dipping, we're leaving right now, it don't go that way. She humors him, she's listening to him, whatever, whatever. And then when she gets back, she's like mad at her dude because this guy knows all these things. Terrible line of communication. That's probably not how that would really go in real life. Maybe for some very young, very naive, not that smart or not that experienced couples, maybe so. But for this grown-ass man, hell no. I'm talking to my lady like right now. Back at the crib spot, old girl is doing a little slip off the panty draws seduction game on this dude, and he don't fall for it, right? He's a little smarter than that. He runs up out that room real quick, you dig? And so basically at this point in time, when they finally meet up, when the good couple finally meets back up, this is when they should be like, all right, babe, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. These motherfuckers is tripping, or I'm about to knock this dude out, just tie him up for the rest of the weekend, and I'm gonna proceed with my plan as scheduled. Now, the big twist that we find out is that this couple that quote unquote booked the same Airbnb for this particular weekend, they're actually the owners of said house, and they are brother and sister. And they, again, for real, like since they was young teenagers. And apparently their parents found out about it one time, chastised them, beat the shit out of them or whatever, trying to knock that incest right up out of them.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
They took it a type of way. They pulled the Menendez brothers, killed their parents, threw them in the Bone Lake to never be seen again. And then they inherited the house. Nobody asked any questions. Grissom from CSI didn't come through and do some crime scene investigation. Whatever, they skipped over all that part. But now their mission in life is to let people book this beautiful house on the lake. Couples book this beautiful house on the lake and then seduce each one of them, trying to pull them apart and see if they really love each other. Because if they really love each other, they clearly wouldn't be seduced by this couple. And I'm trying to find out, like, one, if this couple, if this brother and sister team actually love each other, what the fuck does love got to do with you breaking up these other people that say they're in love? The parents weren't pissed at you for fucking your sister because they didn't think you loved her. They were mad because it's your goddamn sister. So that ain't got really nothing to do with your actual motives. Number two, all these people that book this place to stay, there's no paper trail, there's no credit card information, no bank statements, work's not calling, family members, there's no investigation. What are we doing here? This is crazy. How long have they been doing this? They said they did it to like 6 fucking couples. This is ridiculous. Did they do it to 6 couples over the course of a summer? Because I could promise you this is not going on for years. Another thing that kind of took me out was, is this all you do? Like, I get it that you guys love each other. Why not just live your lives then? Go have incesty kids. You can still work somewhere. You can work from home remotely, have sex on the Bone Lake porch, whatever you want to do. Why you gotta kill people? What they do to you? Now, I understand some movies don't really want to give you all the motives and all the details. Fine, fair, cool. But I've seen movies where there is incest that did it better. I know it wasn't very well received, but Spike Lee's Old Boy, I never saw the original. Don't hate me on that. I'll watch it one day. But I thought the Spike Lee Old Boy was pretty fly because that was a crazy freaking twist. But that movie did it better. And that guy in that film, he was committed. He was committed to fucking his family and what it meant when they all got killed. So I give that movie all its props in comparison to this one. Another movie was That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. Whew. When I found out that brother and sister were effing in that movie, nasty, hilarious, but nasty. So I feel like this movie tried to portray a crazy twist, a nasty twist, but then at the same time, it was trying to say a whole bunch of other things about relationships, trust, being comfortable, seduction. It's like, pick a lane, man, pick a lane. Anyway, $5.99 on Amazon. I don't think it's really that worth it, just my opinion, but this movie did look wonderful. So, big ups on that. Yo, did you see Bone Lake? I feel like, honestly, there should have been a lot more boning on this Bone Lake.
What do you think of this boner I got?
I was expecting some type of crazy horror movie situation where the bottom of the lake was filled with bones. Like, a lot. But I digress. I don't know. I'm sleep deprived, so if I'm not making any sense, I apologize. Yo, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you did see it, comment below. Let me know what you thought of it. Were you expecting more? Did you get everything you wanted out of Bone Lake? Your homie, Jay Green, I'm out.